starts now.
She just don't give a care. I'm tempted to give her some days in jail as a lesson.
Tonight on The Edge, order in the court. A Detroit judge did not like the conduct of a courtroom visitor. And this wasn't a defendant. It was a child on a field trip.
The girl ended up in cuffs for disregarding orders from the judge. Fox 2's Jessica Duke joins us live with the story, and been doing this a little while. I've never heard anything like this.
Yeah, this one was absolutely a first Roop in terror, and of course it's generating some buzz on social media. To give it a little context, Judge King saying that he was trying to send a message, a very strong message, to a 16-year-old girl and about a dozen kids that were with her on this field trip. His point in all of this was deter these kids from ever showing up in his courtroom for real, charged with the crime.
You fall asleep in my courtroom one more time, I'm putting you in the back, understood? You don't care? As soon as we bring the prisoner out, she can step back there.
A field trip to 36 District Court downtown Detroit this week turned into a scared straight simulation. A judge ordering a 16-year-old girl into jail clothes and handcuffs.
You're not fazed by this at all, are you?
Judge Kenneth King directing his questions to a 16-year-old girl who fell asleep twice in his courtroom, and when she woke, it was allegedly with an attitude, laughing and mocking.
So why are you being disrespectful to this court? Yes, ma'am. You sleep at home in your bed, not in court. And quite frankly, I don't like your attitude.
You can see at this point she's in jail clothes and handcuffs. The rest of the teens on the field trip behind her. They came with the nonprofit, the Greening of Detroit.
How old are you? You're old enough to know better. What is your problem?
I apologize.
Sources close to the situation tell us at this point the back and forth turned into a simulation to send a message.
I'm thinking maybe she needs to go to the juvenile detention facility. You do understand that we have a jail for kids.
King reportedly said he never had intentions to send her anywhere, but went on to describe to the kids what it is like at the Detroit detention facility.
Not a very pleasant place to be in that. You guys enjoy your freedom, don't you? You don't have any freedom there.
Then he asked the teen.
That's where you want to go?
An actual attorney in the courtroom then steps in as if they were representing the teen.
She's nervous, doesn't do well with public speaking. Didn't want to necessarily speak today. I'm just tired, that's all.
It ended shortly after that, with everyone in the group going home. The Greening of Detroit says this in part: although the judge was trying to teach a lesson of respect, his methods were unacceptable. The group of students should have been simply asked to leave the courtroom if he thought they were disrespectful, adding the teen is traumatized. We're told that Judge King reached out to this 16-year-old parent offering mentorship moving forward. But as of today, we're told that Judge King and nobody else from the court will be talking at this point because of legal reasons. Reporting live downtown Detroit, Jessica Dupnack on The Edge.
All right, Jessica, well, thank you for that live report. Of course, we'll watch those people behind you, making sure their conduct is okay for your live shot. So we'll let you go, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. All right, an update tonight on that attempted child abduction at a Sterling Heights park on Tuesday. As a suspect awaits arraignment, we spoke to the Good Samaritan who helped save the 7-year-old girl.
Scott Van Leuven has volunteered for Citizens on Patrol for nearly 20 years, and he says he's never seen an encounter as terrifying as this one.
Coming home from work, and as I'm going by the park entrance here is when I saw her hanging out of the vehicle. I didn't pull him out of the vehicle, but I helped him out, and then I held him against his vehicle until the first police officer arrived.
As Van Leuven blocked the 23-year-old suspect, the girl's aunt fought to save the child. The suspect from Shelby Township is also accused of trying to grab a 15-year-old girl earlier in the day in Clinton Township. Fox 2 will be in court for his arraignment tomorrow. It has been 5 months since a deadly explosion rocked Clinton Township.
And now cleanup is finally about to begin. On March 4th, several nitrous oxide and butane exploded inside the building, which housed goo and select distributors. One of the canisters struck and killed a 19-year-old who was standing a quarter of a mile away. But since the tragic blast and fire, the site has remained untouched. Clinton Township Supervisor Bob Cannon says he's excited to see the cleanup efforts.
They are going to start cleaning up next week, and it'll probably take some time. Now it's just a matter of, is there more you want to investigate in areas that you couldn't get to before? Because now they're going to have equipment out there that can move debris aside.
Cannon says the EPA will be on site beginning Monday. Cleanup will likely take a few months.
Down is an unsanctioned marine event. We recommend people don't partake in the event.
It's a summertime tradition here in Southeast Michigan, but the Coast Guard is warning it isn't worth the risk. This Sunday is the annual Port Huron float on the St. Clair River. This is an unsanctioned event. Those who aren't strong swimmers are at risk of drowning. And you may remember back in 2016, strong winds and rain swept 1,500 swimmers from the U.S. to the Canadian side of the river. Some were stranded with no ID or money on the Canadian shoreline. Federal, state, and local first responders will be on hand to try and keep things safe. Michigan State Police showing what not to do on the local freeways.
Now, they caught this motorcycle racing down I-94. It's unbelievable. Take a look.
Okay, I found him. He's eastbound 94. We went through traffic doing 130. Through Rosa Parks, lane splitting, speeds 100 plus.
130 miles an hour. This happened last week. Troopers followed the motorcyclist from the air as he tore down I-94 and I-75. On the ground, MSP caught up to the biker in Royal Oak and pulled him over. The motorcyclist had a GoPro and has recorded his erratic driving. The biker was taken to jail. No word yet on any charges.
As we gear up for the Woodward Dream Cruise, the Corvettes are getting a head start. Today was the Corvettes on Woodward show at the M1 concourse. An estimated 400 Corvettes were on hand along with their proud owners.
Do you want to sell your 1966 Corvette?
I do not. It's going in the ground with me.
Okay, this car is all sex and fire, and when you drive it, you'll never drive anything else again.
This is all part of the M1 Concourse's Woodward Dream Show and Festival. It runs through Saturday.
Well, we're all hoping the Woodward Dream Cruise events will be rain-free this weekend, but that might not happen.
Oh, meteorologist Lori Pinson standing by tonight, and not every day can be as perfect as today, Lori.
It was a really nice day. We had a great weekend, low humidity and below seasonal temperatures. I'm not going to make you wait for this Dream Cruise forecast. Temps will be a little bit cooler, and we do have rain moving in Friday, Saturday, and possibly even on Sunday. Here's what's going on. We have high pressure that's moving away from us, and it's what gave us all that great weather. There's another system that's on out here to our west, area of low pressure, a warm front that's going to lift up north, and that will bring us increasing clouds and the threat of some rain in the forecast. You can follow the trend line here. It starts to bump up as we get into Thursday evening, over into Friday morning. Potential for storms existing then, and still more rain back in the forecast as we head on up there towards your Saturday. Let's go ahead and check the numbers for you this evening. 65 degrees in Pontiac, still 71 in Metro Detroit. Winds are in at 68 degrees. Good evening to you in Howell. You are at 66. Going for an overnight low, not too bad, about 64 degrees. Still not really high humidity levels, and winds primarily on the light side. Your forecast for tomorrow starting at breakfast time in the 60s, heading on up to about the low 80s as we head towards your evening with increasing clouds and the threat of rain. Here's a look ahead at your extended forecast for you. Temperatures remaining a little bit below seasonal, just in the 70s, barely reaching that 80-degree mark. Next opportunity for some sunshine coming on into play Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Hope you have a positive evening. Ruth, Darren.
So far, so good.
Yeah.
Well, the clock is ticking for a family in need with help for a hoarding situation in Detroit.
And as you can see by these pictures, just a sad situation. After reaching out to multiple professionals and getting nowhere, they're in desperate need of change. Fox 2's Dave Kinchin gives us a look inside.
It has mold in there. We just took refrigerator stove out that has mold inside it.
A family in distress on Detroit's west side.
The ceiling is falling. In the kitchen, half the ceiling is gone. Water leak damage is all on the walls. Carpet has not been cleaned in 20 years.
Marquita Ridley says she flew in from Florida to help clean her father's house on West Philadelphia Street after finding out about the horrific conditions he's been living in. She says 83-year-old retired Sergeant First Class Henry Whitfield served his country in Vietnam.
And my dad just came home from the rehab center. He's been in the hospital since January this year. He came back to hoarded house. The house is in disarray.
His daughters and extended family have donned hazmat gear and masks to help do the dirty job, unsure of how it got to this point.
Honestly, I have no idea. It's been like that because he's bedridden, so he's not able to walk. He's a 38-year veteran, Vietnam vet, and he just couldn't do anything. He couldn't do everything by himself. And with his roommate, she couldn't do too much. We only touched 2 rooms. And there's 3 bedrooms, a living room, dining room, kitchen, basement we haven't even touched. We haven't touched none of the upstairs, and we've been here since 9 this morning.
Marquita says it's too much for them to handle alone, and they cannot afford professional help.
I reached out to the VA, social workers. They said they're going to do something. They said they can't do something until all the mold and everything is out the house.
We're told Sergeant First Class Whitfield's wife passed away some time ago, and he is unable to care for and feed himself. They hope someone can help them do something.
He doesn't ask for nothing. He didn't even want this. But we know he can't stay here. He can't stay in this house. He will die if he stays in this house. We just need help. We need some help. This is a veteran that put his life on the line for people, and he's receiving nothing.
So if you would like to help this family out, you can reach out to Fox2, fox2detroit.com, and we will put you in contact with the family. Dave Kinchin on The Edge.